Bizu, 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 bizu.
Hello, everybody.
Man, I don't know what happened to my... Oh, here we go.
Did you see somebody already made a donation, Sky? $1.
No, I didn't.
Beginning. Dobrik.
Thank you, Dobrik. I guess we should start with the thank you, huh?
Yes.
All right, let's do the short thank you for Dobrik. Thank you, Dobrik Genevo, for being part of this community. Thank you, Dobrik.
Thank
You're
you
amazing.
so much. Thank you. How are you, Sky?
I am great. I've had a wonderful week in Jackson, Mississippi. Well, a couple days in Jackson, Mississippi, and I drove around today though, and it was a ghost town. Everyone's in church or something. Man, I couldn't find any. I went to the outlet malls. Nobody was there. I went downtown. Ghost town. Like I made a video. Like I held my camera. It's like a zombie apocalypse. Like it's gone. Like you could film a zombie apocalypse movie in Mississippi if you just filmed on Sunday very easily.
And why is that? Because people are just going to church and they don't do anything else?
I guess there aren't that many people here. So I guess that on Sunday, since they're not working downtown, but a lot of the stores are also just closed like forever, they're just they're shuttered. And I did go back. I drove back by the outlet malls though, and I saw some people. So after this, I kind of want to try to go out and just do some outreach. Maybe not with the truck because there's no place for me to really park the truck. But yeah, I only got I'm supposed to take pictures of people interacting with the truck. I got 2 pictures.
Yeah, that's not a lot. Yeah, if there is nobody, what are you supposed to do? Like you can't go knock at people's doors. Hey, can
Hello.
Have you heard of them? I mean, you could, but they would be like, "Are you with another?" They wouldn't think you're vegan. They would think you're other.
They think I'm a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah.
People knocking at doors.
Well, I might also be. It's Mississippi.
And?
So I'd be afraid. Well, there's lots of guns, man. I'm afraid of all the guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like, it's a beautiful state, but also the streets. I'm sitting there driving, and it's like.
Yeah.
Like none of the streets. It makes you like Los Angeles isn't known for the greatest streets, but holy shit, the potholes in Mississippi. It's like a patchwork. They haven't done anything. Yeah, it's been it's difficult. So what are you gonna do?
I get that. Hi everybody in the chat. Thank you for saying hi. I hope everybody's doing great today. So there was something I wanted to talk about today in the live, Sky. Let me just grab my notes.
You want to start with that? Or should we play the theme song?
Oh, we can play. What do you mean? The theme?
Well,
yes.
Sunday school. Think it's Sunday school.
What am I doing? I'm distracted because Karina's coming today.
I'm distracted too. This channel's just for you.
That wasn't me. That was Sky.
I can't do it like
Vegan Sunday School.
I can't get that high.
Thanks, Chip. We're so excited.
Just for
When I sing, Faye's looking at me like, what are you doing?
That's the Faye's going like, why are you singing?
Ooh, born again vegan. You must feel good.
Born again vegan is always happy. Yeah, he's saying woohoo.
Just started.
Woo. Yeah, and also everyone was saying I went live yesterday while I was going around and I was looking at people and I parked my truck at what I think you would super enjoy. It was a jazz festival. I know you'd be really into it. And
My favorite place to be.
Everyone in my live stream was like, "Oh, too bad Fanny's not there. She'd love this."
Yes, for those who don't know, jazz is not my cup of tea. It's really hard for me to enjoy any jazz. Most of the time when I hear jazz, it just kind of like gets under my skin. It makes
Mm.
me have like, I don't know, reactions to it. It's
Yeah, I get it. Reaction is what music is supposed to give you, though. It's supposed to give you a get a reaction out of you. Uh, I think you would have liked this. It was more like I think more like songs. It wasn't like experimental jazz. It was jazz for old people. I think you'd be really liking because they had like they were saying "Moon River, my Huckleberry friend, I'll be there till the
Yeah, that
end."
sounds like nice. I think sometimes when I think of jazz, I think of like a bunch of like rhythm that goes all over the place and it
Yeah.
just like gets on my nerves. It's yeah, I have a hard time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not that style isn't for everyone. But look, Michael Askew says he likes Miles Davis more when he went more funky. Oh, like in the later days, he went more funky, funky. Yeah, it's true.
See, Vegan Power Lab gets me.
Some
Some
jazz
jazz is noise.
is noise.
Honestly, sometimes I listen to jazz and it makes me feel like it's my niece doing this on her piano. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have a melody that I can like attach
Yeah.
myself to. But also, it's how my brain works. You know, we all have different ways that we like to see the world. And
Or whether or not
I,
you liked getting pushed. Like, for example, I went to a jazz festival in Hanover, Germany. It was one of my favorite things. And I saw a jazz artist group called Underkarl, and I loved them. Underkarl, whatever. And in the live performance, they broke bottles on the stage and they threw it into the piano, like the piano's open, and they threw it onto the strings. And they were playing. Super cool.
oh, it's super cool. You liked it for
I loved
real?
it. I loved it. I bought the CD. I thought it was great. I loved all that. And then when I went to community, when I moved back to the United States, I remember that CD so well because I was like, play because when I came back to the United States, we still had the old CDs that look like clamshells, like, they're like the little I had my headphones on.
And that when if you moved too much, your
Oh
CD
yeah,
was just jumping, so you had to kind of hold your CD player wherever you were
like it
going.
was a little personal
That's-
pizza. You're like, don't touch my CD player, and like they would
yeah,
say, this CD player has 50 megs of RAM so that it could like buffer the song so that you don't hear the skip. It's skip proof, and people
skip.
were like running with their so stupid.
Yeah, when I see people running with like headphones and their little thing on their arm, I'm like, wow, we came so far with
So
this
far, yeah.
because yeah,
Well, even when
impossible.
CDs were big, I still used tapes because I walked around a lot, and so I had a little one of those Sony at a Sony Walkman. There was the yellow and blue one, and I would like pop it open. I would listen to my tapes because, and also you could buy tapes for $1 when CDs came out. Tapes went down to $1. Used
Yeah.
tapes, $1. I was like, man, I could listen to anything.
I think one of my favorite things with tapes was when you would rewind and it would just do
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it was a sound that I enjoyed. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of fun." And you had to be very because if you knew, "Oh, I recorded this and this and this and
Yeah.
this on my tape," you had to kind of know how it sounded when you were going back
Yeah.
because you had to be like, "Oh, that's the song that I
Yeah,
was
you could
trying
hear what
to."
it was, and you could listen for the break between the songs to know how many songs you were. And even like there were a couple tape decks out there for cars where you could press forward and it would go to the next song by listening. It would listen to the break in the
To
song. There were some record players that did that too, and it would like know where the tracks were, but that was like super high tech.
And do you remember when we were renting videotapes from,
Oh yeah.
Blockbuster or whatever? And if you did not rewind, you forgot, you had like a penalty that you had to pay. It's
Mm-hmm.
so funny because they were like,
Late
well, we
fees.
can't, we can't, just rewind every tape. So if you didn't rewind, you have to pay. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
And now Vegan Power Lab has wireless headphones on his watch. Like my watch talks to me. I'm still rocking the Casio.
yeah.
And if
Mm-hmm.
you notice, it's California time on my Casio because I like to know what
Aw.
time Karina is alive. I'm like I always think of, well, for Karina it's 1:19.
So you check on your phone your actual time and on your watch Karina's time?
Yeah, well, actually, I just check my watch and I just know that I'm 2 hours ahead. Like it's not hard
Ah,
to add
okay.
two. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't change that much.
No, yeah, yeah, it's 2 hours. So I'm always like, I didn't want to reset my phone, my watch every time, but I do reset the one in the truck. I always reset when I go into different time
Yeah.
zones because that'll fuck me up. I'm driving and I'll be like, because when you're
Yeah.
driving, you're just like, you
Yeah,
know what I
you
mean?
can't be distracted. Yeah, no, for sure. 100%.
For
You know,
sure.
one thing I didn't think of, maybe you don't use it, but does your truck have a good like link to your phone so you can listen to music? Because that's one thing I realized when I traveled in America is every time you keep traveling, you have to change the radio station, and it keeps being like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh, that was driving me crazy. I was like,
yeah,
seriously, there is not one clear radio station that
yeah.
I can listen to throughout America.
No,
Doesn't make any sense.
yeah, you'd think there'd be like Radio America or something, right? But no,
Right?
there is none. Yeah, it's really annoying to travel long distances in America without. So I have an aux cable, but the problem is, as everyone knows, iPhones don't have an aux input anymore. So I have my Samsung that still has an aux, and I'll download all my podcasts for when I'm driving. So tomorrow I'm driving to Monroe, Louisiana, and I'll be driving for a while. So I'm gonna plug in and I'll be listening. But um, when I'm in town, I'll find a station because I'm driving so like I'm just driving all crazy. I'm not really listening to podcasts. I just need something in the background, or I'll drive in silence around the town. But I'll usually find like because you know what's really sad, Fanny.
Are you gonna make me sad on
I,
Sunday school?
I don't know if it'll maybe make you maybe it makes me sad. I'm older than you are, but
Okay.
I'm like I was thinking like what I found, what I know, it never shines through what I've shown. You know that song, never free, never do.
Even if I don't
And I
know the
go,
song, or
you're
if I don't
forgiven.
or if I don't give a fair judgment of that interpretation, I
You
don't
don't know
know.
anybody can know in the song. You labeled me, I labeled you, so I won't be
Who
unforgiven.
hold on, Sky. Who in the chat is guessing the song that Sky is
You know
singing?
that song? Everyone knows that song. Benji got it right away. First guess. Metallica. Boom, dun-dun-dun, 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 dun, boom. You label me, I label you. Everything.
Okay, so what are you trying to tell me with
So,
this song?
firstly, if anyone listens to Metallica for any length of time, you'll realize that
Okay.
Hatfield always ends every syllable with every line of every song.
Ah,
He goes, "You ah." Yeah, he's always
wha-
like, "You labeled me, I labeled
ah.
you, so I won't be unforgiven." Yeah, he does that a lot. So anyway, yes, isn't that Miley Cyrus with Elton John? All right, so it's Unforgiven by Metallica, okay? And I'm like rocking out, like do, 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 do. I'm
You
driving,
know
you know.
who you make me think of in this moment telling this story? You make me think of Dwight Schrute. You know
Dwight
that
Schrute. Does he
Dwight
love
Schrute
Metallica?
from The Office? He
Yeah,
has a song that he puts every time he goes to do a sale. He
really?
puts his song and he's like, and it's
Maybe I
also
should
a
just watch The
song.
Office for once. I've never watched The Office. Maybe I'll watch it.
It's very funny. You make
Mm.
me think of Dwight.
Okay, so in the vein of Dwight. Okay, so I think Rainn Wilson might be as old as I am. So I'm driving along. So I won't be, and then all of a sudden it's like something from Nirvana, like she smells like Teen Spirit comes on, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm driving, and then it's like station break, and it goes, hey, this is the classic rock station of Jackson, Florida. And I was like, classic rock? This is not classic rock. This is
Uh,
contemporary rock and roll. How dare you say Nirvana is classic rock?
it's kind of classic. It's a classic. Everybody knows it. What is a classic otherwise?
Classic rock's like what your dad listens to. And
I don't know. For me, when someone says, "Oh, it's classic," I'm like, it's legendary. It's like,
no.
no,
Classic
it's
is
like
like,
a
okay, so
classic.
a classic car is anything over 30 years old generally. Like if it's over 30 years old, it's kind of considered like a classic car. But nowadays we don't
Mm.
even think of it like that but you could have like an antique thing is like 30 years. Anyway, I guess you could say classic rock. Okay, but classic rock to me is still Led Zeppelin. That's
Hmm.
classic rock. Like 60s and 70s shit when I was growing up was old and I listened to it on the classic rock station. And
Classic.
now my music is classic rock.
We're getting older, Sky. You know, in Belgium, there is Jess's favorite radio station. It's
Black
called
Sabbath is classic rock. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jess's favorite radio station is called Nostalgie. You know, nostalgia.
Yeah.
And it's all, it used to be all the songs that, yeah, my dad was listening to it,
Yeah.
and now they're putting 90s songs in there, and I'm like, what? No, why are you doing this to me? But yeah, it's
That's the
funny.
thing. Like they're playing so many songs from my high school days, and I'm classic rock now.
I guess you are. I
I'm a
guess you
classic.
are. That's okay, you're a classic. That's why
I'm a
you have a
classic.
mustache. That's why you
Understood.
have the mustache. Okay, Sky, can we talk about the thing I wanted to talk about today?
Sure.
Okay, so here is the thing that was going on in my head this week. Maybe you've talked about this on your channel. I'm pretty
That's
sure you
okay. I
have,
can
but
talk about things more than once. But that just makes me more prepared.
okay, cool. So I wanted to ask, is the vocabulary around the word farming going to change?
Ooh.
Because I was saying we should invent our own vocabulary as vegan,
Mm.
because that whole conversation came from the word plantation, right?
Ooh.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, you know, today it's a word that's kind of out of the vocabulary. We only use that word for one specific thing. And I
Not
was,
around here. Around here, people still say plantation. You could still see signs for
mm,
plantation and stuff in Mississippi. It's weird because immediately I think of slavery, right? Is that what you're saying?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
Immediately I
was,
think of like plantation, and I see signs, and I'm like, plantation, and
right?
I'll be like,
And I was saying to Jess, so which way was it? Was it that the word plantation was used, and then
mm,
people had enslaved people in these plantations, and then it became something? Or is it that
mm,
people brought slaves, enslaved people, and then they started calling it plantation because it was? So what influenced the vocabulary, right? And
mm,
I was saying, as vegans, we see today in the world a bunch of people being like, oh, you can't use the word sausage if it's not a meat sausage. You can't use this, you can't use that. And I was like, would it be like, as vegans, should we claim a certain vocabulary to call
mm.
things the way that we want to call them? Because sometimes there is discrimination towards us. We get, you know, like, it's a culture. Veganism is a culture. It's a
But you mean
philosophy.
like
It's a way
our
of.
shared language, like a culture is a shared sense of values and traditions, right?
Hmm.
So that would include language, but like, what do you mean? Like, which language, which words do you want to get rid of? Do you have any specifics?
It's not get rid, or it's not create, but for example, they don't want us to use milk. So is there a word that we should claim, and that would be, that's the way as vegans say milk, and now
Yeah,
we only use this, you know, like, obviously the word veganism was invented. It's a word that people created to
yeah.
describe a feeling.
Mm.
Dystopia is a word that was invented. So
Vegan
for,
phobic, vegaphobic. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like,
Mm.
so are there words that we should claim and be like, this is the way that vegans call sausage or milk or whatever? Because if they don't want us, if they want to tell us how we call things, shouldn't we say how we want to call things?
I love that idea. I have actually we've talked about this before, and I guess like I love the idea. Like we all just agree what the word milk is gonna, what word we want to use for plant based milk, right? Like plouk, plamilk, like they were in plamilk or play milk or something like that. Because plant and milk, I've seen because the Leslie Cross invented a company called Play Milk like early on, like in the 50s for vegan milk, and it was plant milk and but I guess my problem with it always is Man, do you trust vegans to come up with good words? We haven't come up with anything good in a long time. Like we're
I don't
really bad at
know.
this shit.
I just know that words have such an impact because they're very visual, mostly in America. Because, for example, um, I was working on a video this week for my work, and they were like, "Oh, I wanted to say this is breast milk. This is cow's breast milk." And I
Mm.
was I was corrected by the editing department saying, "Well, it's udder. It's udder.
Oh, it's an
It's
udder milk.
it's mammary secretion." And I was like, "No, I don't
Mhm.
want to use mammary secretion because it is breast milk. I want people who are not used to thinking like vegans to see that and be like, yeah, it is breast milk.
Well,
It is
an udder is a
weird.
breast, right? It's just the
It is, but it's not the like actual word, but
mm, mm, mm.
me using mammary secretion or me using breast milk,
Yeah.
people are going to have a different reaction
Yes.
depending on which word I'm using, and people have
Totally.
strong reactions to words. So the words that we use really matter. And I was wondering if there could be, words that we would use for as vegans and be like, no, this is a word that's very powerful to us, and
Well, I
that's
think it's
how.
funny because isn't veganese? I feel like veganese is one that we've already done, right? And even though
Mm-hmm.
one is kind of owned, because I think Follow Your Heart owns veganese, but veganese, everyone already says, right? We know what that is. It's vegan mayo.
I
But
like I like Karina's
sausage,
idea. Vilk for milk.
vilk,
Vilk.
uh,
It's Vilk. It's Vossage.
sausage, is it vunny?
It's steak.
Vake,
Steak.
vake,
Burger. A
burger.
burger. Burger. Burger is very Vossage.
Could it be
Burger.
feather instead of leather? Oh, but then you have feathers
Leather.
too. Vegan feathers and vegan leather. They got to fight cage match.
It's like, yeah, I really love the V. Actually, it would be so easy, everything with a V in front of it. But yeah, I don't know, for me it's yeah, are situated in the abdominal region. It's
So
the
udders
same.
are downtown and breasts are uptown.
Okay.
So technically, but that's the point. Actually, is that if we're going to use words without euphemism, and we should tell it about. But that's the thing. Like, what are we going to call vegan sausages? Cylindrical meat-like plant sustenance, right? Cylindrical
Yeah.
plant-like meat-like plant sustenance.
Everybody likes Karina's suggestions.
Burgers.
Burgers, V's,
We'll end up
V's.
talking like Smurfs, where it's like you're the Smurfiest Smurf that ever Smurfed, Smurfette. Yeah, you better
I
get the
love
Smurf
it.
out of here, you Smurfer. Plant tubes. I like plant tubes as the real thing. Plant tubes. I like that.
Plant tubes. I don't know. It's something, that's been in my mind. And I thought as a community, there are words that we should claim and that we should, say this is how we want to call these things and these feelings.
Well, I'm pretty
And
sure we already have veggie burger, right? I think everybody knows what veggie burger is, right?
yeah, but then they see, why do you call it a burger? It's not a
Oh, a
burger.
burger's this
You know
type
what
of
I mean?
sandwich. It's not a hamburger.
I know, but people are not
People are horrible,
always.
but fuck them. Like, why are we so worried about these idiots? Like,
I'm not worried. I'm just,
mm,
it's like, like the N word.
mm.
Black people are like, this is
This is ours now.
ours.
Yeah.
This is ours. This belongs to us. And it's a way of claiming something, of claiming an identity, of claiming
Well, I guess we could
um
claim soy boy. How about that one? We'll claim that one. Soy boy. If that would be more on par with the N word, like a slur at least that's for us. A visa is
a
a vegan
pizza.
pizza. There we
I
go.
love
A
it.
pizza.
Vegan, Vamburger. I love Karina's idea personally.
Hamburger.
I'm gonna call it Vacon instead of bacon.
Bacon. People love to put fake in bacon. They put the F in it. Fakin.
Faken. Yeah, but fake, it's not fake. Because there is this idea
We're
also
gonna
when we
reclaim the
say,
word fake.
yeah, but when we say, oh, alternatives and like fake and faux feathers and all of
Mm-hmm.
that, I'm like, it's not fake. It's not, it's just something else. It's
Well,
also
faux sounds cool because it's French. It sounds positively cosmopolitan. Like faux, we can call everything
maybe that.
faux.
But
Faux burger, faux bacon.
even feathers, if it was feathers, I don't
And
know.
what about leather?
Vegan burger.
Leather,
Feather,
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 and feather,
feather.
feather and leather are the same.
Vacos.
Vegan tacos. I like those. Vacos. The vatos. It's not alternative. It's
Milkshake.
superior.
Milkshake. Oh, Karina, you're so smart. Vegan V's burger.
Bacon cheeseburger. There you go, man. We got it. The triple V. The
Okay,
bacon
that's it.
cheeseburger.
I'm claiming all I Karina, I'm claiming the V. I'm claiming the V as a vegan. It's everything is V now.
Josh Banks
Vi
is not alternative. It's superior. I like it.
Vice cream.
Yeah. Eat wheat, not meat. It's 2024, says Dobrik. I like it. It's 2024.
Vegan.
So I guess that you've solved your yeah. The milkshakes brings all the soy boys to the yard. Brings soy
I
boys to
love
the yard.
it.
But I want to be like, do we want to? Are these the words that we want to claim? I think veganese we already have, right? Triple veganese, veganize. Like, what words do we want to claim? I guess would be the first question. Like, which ones do we want to say these are ours? Like
Honestly, it's mostly for me.
food things.
It's butter, it's milk, it's meat,
Mm,
it's
mm, mm, mm.
burger. It's all of that because we use these all the time. And every time I say to my family, and they know I've been vegan 9 years, but when I say, "Oh, and we had that with chicken and la la la," they're like, "Chicken?" And I'm like, "No,
Yeah,
of course, vegan chicken."
you fucking
But it,
retarded. Well, when people say that shit, it's like, are you serious? Like when I
you
say things,
know,
I'm like, I say chicken, and people are like chicken. I'm like, are you? Yeah, I just threw away 20 years of veganism right now for a. Come on.
yeah, it's like, you have to every time over explain. But if we could just put a V in front of everything, Bogart, I don't know. I feel like it's actually a really good
Mm,
idea.
we could do
Karina,
dinosaur meat, vegan dinosaur meat. Nobody can
Vinosaur, Vinosaur.
Vinosaur. I like it. Nobody can own any words because language is subjective. Yeah, but people can still subjectivity. Things that are subjective means you own your experience. Sure, that
It's
means you
not
can own
owning,
it.
it's claiming. It's
Claiming them.
different. It's different. It's I claim that this thing is part of a culture that I associate with, but nobody, of course, owns language. You
Well,
can't.
can we own? What about like sure cultures own language? I mean, I think certain cultures have their own dialect, and that's how you build a culture, right? I mean, do they own it? Maybe not, but it's theirs. Okay, so what about bigger things like because people have tried to do this with things like aquariums aren't called aquariums, they're called aqua prisons, and zoos are um, incarcerate. Oh, I forget what they said. Oh, I like the domestication instead of domestication because you're desecrating the animal. Domestication.
Mhm.
So I forget who did that, like who coined all these aqua prison, and I forget that philosopher who did that, but it was a vegan philosopher who went through and like took the big words like that, like zoos being prisons, and
Mhm.
aquariums being aqua prisons, and I think those are kind of fun, like the
I
language of
think
oppression.
no, like of course these ones are like super important because it's just like I said, it's like rephrasing. It's like, for example, they say artificial insemination for when
Yeah,
they impregnate
yeah, AI.
animals. And
Yeah,
it's like artificial. Really, insemination. Have you seen a woman being inseminated? It's free will. She is paying for that.
yeah.
Like it's nothing. It has nothing to do with that. What they're doing to animals, but yeah. So it's like a bunch of words like slaughterhouses. I think slaughterhouses are pretty, but like farms, because
Mhm.
yeah, it also came from the fact that I was saying to Jess, I don't like, are farmers still going to be called farmers when the world is becoming vegan? Because today, when you say I'm a farmer, nobody knows if you farm animals or if you
Mhm.
farm products, right? So
Yeah.
produce. So is it, are people who at some point don't want to be associated with farming animals, or are they going to be like, well, I'm a farmer, the V. I'm a farmer because I only farm veggies. I'm just trying to think, as the world's going to evolve to a more vegan world, what are the words that are going to become problematic? And I think farmer is going to be one of the first words that people are going to be like, I don't want to associate with being called someone who abuses animals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I get that because they don't want to be so. But a farmer to me is someone who harvests plants still, and these other assholes. I don't know what you'd call a flesh farmer, a flesh merchant.
Yeah, corpse grower. I don't know.
Mm.
Something, you know what I mean? But like I think, and it was specifically about the word farmers that I was thinking. And I was really like, if I was growing fruit, I would want to dissociate myself from being seen
Yeah.
from
Well,
the
oh, it
word
looks like
farmer.
ranchers, cannibal. Yeah, they're ranchers. Interesting but you wouldn't call it a chicken rancher, would you? Maybe you would. I don't know. Chicken ranchers. Yeah. Maybe a money collector. The medieval farmer was a money collector, and the word farm comes from fermea, to rent. Have you seen the ones where they put the H? People put the H for harmer, and they put harmer.
No, I
Yeah,
have not seen
you
that.
have farmers growing vegetables and harmers growing animals. Yeah,
Yeah. So you would have farmer with an H for
yeah.
those who, and then varmer with a V for
There
those
you
who do
go.
vegetables.
Yeah,
I love
sure.
it.
Hmm.
Yeah, you see, but it's just like the world is gonna evolve, and yeah, the world is gonna go towards veganism, and yeah, we'll see with the random stupid questions.
Yeah, is Karina here? Where is she? I thought she was gonna be here by now. We're gonna do random stupid questions. She said
She
she was
is in
gonna.
the chat for sure.
She's definitely in
The
the chat, but she's supposed to be in the green
Car-
room. Oh,
Karina,
there she is. She's here.
Karina. Oh my
Karina's here.
gosh.
Are you ready, Karina? She's gonna come on right after we do the random
Introduction.
stupid questions. Karina
Okay, there you
V.
go.
Hey, how are
Hi
you?
guys.
Hi. Oh my
Nice,
Hi.
gosh.
nice
You're
to
in,
be.
you're in the OG vegan,
I
of course.
know.
I
Wait,
love
hold
it.
on. I have to like. There you go. Can you
You're
guys
this.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can
Okay. Sorry, I
see
had an echo because I had the live show in another tab. Okay,
yeah. You have to not do that.
I
That's for
didn't know
sure.
that.
Yeah,
You
you
didn't
gotta.
warn me.
you. do
Sorry,
you see do you see the comments though? Do you see the
I
comments where
don't
you
see
are?
the con.
that's
Now
okay.
I
She
see him.
doesn't
I
need
see
to.
him now. Okay,
Okay,
I'm new to
cool.
this. Thanks, guys.
That's okay. That's
Are
okay.
you ready to play random stupid questions with Fanny?
Ready to know be. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're on
ready,
cue.
ready as you'll ever be. Okay,
Hi guys. Okay.
number
Yay!
one.
Okay, so my first question is, if you can have a conversation with someone famous or dead or someone about veganism, who would that be?
uh
Somebody famous or dead, but they
Or
can't be.
dead,
Can they be famous
or
and dead?
from another time,
Mm,
or it can be also a character from TV. I don't know.
yeah, come on, Karina. What do you
I
think?
think just like everyone's talking about conspiracy. I guess Jesus. I know that sounds. If Jesus was actually,
Jesus is a good one.
Jesus.
Nietzsche.
yeah.
Tolstoy. Good ones from the chat. Nietzsche and Tolstoy.
And
Jesus
what
Christ.
Oh, Nietzsche's good. Bowie. I
what
was thinking Bowie too, but I was like, I think Jesus would be like the big one that would kind of like blow everyone's mind type thing. So going
so
with
Mm,
Jesus.
and what would you want to ask or know about, like if you were talking to them?
I guess I would ask them. I guess, if they were seeing the world how it is today, if veganism would go hand in hand with religion, like as if it's like, I don't know, if vegans are the ones that are living the world correctly, I guess.
oh, see who's
Okay.
really getting into heaven.
Yeah.
Who really? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Who
which
has
one's
the
more in
ticket?
line with your teaching? What about you, Fanny? What do you think?
So it's funny. I was asking the question to Jess earlier. For me, I would want to meet someone in the future when the world is vegan, and I would want to
Mm.
ask. and I would want to see, please reassure me, please tell me that everything is okay now, that we're not doing this anymore. Yeah.
Oh,
So if I could, I would travel to the future and ask someone in the future to
are we
make me
vegan?
feel, are we all vegan? How is it
Do we make
going?
it? You go to the
Is
future and
it,
there's nobody there.
yeah.
There's no humans.
Except for the animals.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
the
if,
animals.
yeah, I think if I was in the future and it's only animals, I'd be like, okay, well, okay,
Mm.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Perfect.
Vegan Power Lab wants to go back in time and ask Earthling Ed, Charles Darwin.
And you, Sky, who do you want to ask?
I would definitely ask someone like the first one that came to mind. It doesn't have to be him, but someone like him, like Thomas Jefferson or Benjamin Franklin or any of these guys that were like Enlightenment thinkers, thinking about like a big ideas like the liberty and freedom and equal right, like these people who are really thinking about that shit and like building a country. Like I would love to ask them and probably get laughed at, but like you'd have to like be like, no, I want to outreach. I want to outreach Thomas Jefferson or like Adams, like John Adams or one of those guys, that was really thinking about that shit at the time.
Okay, cool. That seems,
I like it.
yeah, yeah, I like it too. Okay,
Rod Serling.
if
Rod Serling's
it's,
good. I saw Hitler. I saw Charles Darwin. That's all really
Yeah.
good.
How about
Michael
Charlie
Jackson.
Manson?
okay, so next question. If you had the power to bring one extinct animal back, which one would it be?
Oof.
I'm gonna go with the dodo bird.
The dodo bird.
Yes, I
And
think it's just a really cool, funny looking animal. I don't know.
They kind of got a bad rap, didn't they? That poor bird.
Yeah.
poor bird.
Poor bird.
I think for me it would be the dinosaur with the long neck, Bronchiosaurus.
Brontosaurus. Yeah,
Bron-
that big one.
yeah, yeah. I think
Thunder
I would
lizard.
like. Yeah, they're kind of cute. They look like a mix between a big elephant with just a giraffe neck. You know what I mean? It's like it's a mix. I don't know. They're cute. I like them.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Oh, one of the very recently extinct, like the rhino, says Terry Regan. The rhino, that's a good one. Yeah. Tasmanian tigers was the first one on my mind too. The thylacine. That's like the Tasmanian tiger seems like such a sad thing that
Oh yeah.
they're all gone. The marsupial wolf. But I guess like I'd probably have to go with an herbivore. Like you know what? We used to have these things called passenger pigeons in the United States, or like the buffalo. They're almost extinct. Like it would be great to have the
Yeah.
buffalo return. Like
Yeah.
imagine if we had the wild, like we had the West, and these buffaloes were out there, like in the wilderness, and how cool would that be?
That'd be really nice. Vegan Power Lab says Neanderthals, and Jess was saying the same
Neanderthals.
thing.
Yeah,
And I was like, but
that's a
how
good
would
one.
they live in today's world? Like they would,
Like
like
this is shit.
they'd be like, what the would their brain be able to compute everything that's happening? Like, I don't know.
I've thought so much about Neanderthals too, or there were other species that were closer to us, right? Like those, I forget. Probably somebody in the chat knows. They recently discovered like other animals that were like burying their dead. There were other human type
Mm-hmm.
animals that were burying their dead and had religion and writing and stuff. Not writing, but they had like
Design, like yeah.
designs and shit. Yeah. Like imagine if they hadn't all died. That'd be so cool. I think that would
I
be
I think I would really love if there were multiple races of humans, not in terms of like skin color, but like
yeah.
with different abilities.
Like
Mhm.
Because
aliens?
that what?
Like aliens?
Not aliens, because we would all be humans, right? Like aliens.
Yeah.
Like octopus. No, but like because that's kind of what happened with actual humans. They grew differently. They were a different type of humans,
Yeah.
and then some of them just died, and the other ones survived. What if we had all survived? And today, I think because today we feel like, oh, humans are so different from animals, we're like on top. But if
Mm.
there were two kinds of humans, maybe one kind, I don't know, doesn't have hands, and the other one doesn't
Does not have
have
hands.
hair. I don't know, but
He
like
has like three
we
brains, or
the
yeah.
way, but there is like a little bit like you have some birds who have wings, and then you have monkeys who have hands and legs. Like
Mm-mm.
if there were two types of very different humans, or more types, we would more feel like we are like animals. But right now, the fact that we feel like, oh, all humans are the same and we're superior to animals, it's
Mhm.
easier to feel like that. I feel like if
Yeah,
we
have
could
some step between us and the apes, right? Like something that's closer to us would be
yeah,
pretty
or
cool.
just more versions of us, more
Except what's the only thing
versions.
that's sad about that, if we had like Neanderthals or Homo erectus or one of these like that were kind of like us, they were smart but not too smart, they'd be slaves. We would turn them into
But I didn't say that they weren't smart. Like, so for example, you
they're
would
as smart
have
as we are.
humans. No, I would say, for example, you have one kind of humans that is on Earth,
Yeah.
and the other kind of humans that is in the ocean. But we're all humans. We
Oh, we're talking
have the
like Avatar
same.
style.
We're as smart as each other,
Mhm.
right?
Way of the water, Avatar. The
But
way of
some of
water.
us, some of us can just be in the water, and some of us can only be.
I
Then
really like this idea, but we have to take a break because
yes.
Jackie Boyle. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much,
Jackie, for the
Jackie.
support.
Thank you for supporting the community, Jackie Boyle. All right, so
Jackie
I was
boy.
flying around Jackdaw 3. So that's one thing because even though it's a ghost town in Jackson, Mississippi, I did get to fly around Jackdaw 3000 today around the Capitol building. I all the way up and then around the cupola of the Capitol of Jackson. Jackson is the capital of Mississippi for everyone who didn't know. And there's a golden eagle up there, and I flew the drone around the top, and like that was kind of cool. Got some cool footage. That'll be for members only. Yeah, yeah.
I like it. For members only.
Members only.
Sorry. Jackie's such a legend. I
Jackie's
know.
a legend. Yeah.
Jackie. Okay, thank you for your answers. Did you answer, Sky? What kind of what species you would? Yeah, you said.
Yeah, I said that I think the passenger pigeon, one of these horrible, like the ones that we clearly made extinct like very recently, that really pisses me off. Or I would bring back the buffalo maybe, even though that we have buffalo today, like the American bison. I'd love to bring back like to the numbers that they were, like bring them all back. You
I would
know,
like that.
like the opposite of Thanos, like a snap and bring back the entire population of buffalo. I think that'd be pretty badass.
Oh, that'd be nice. Suddenly everybody would be like, what happened?
And like they'd run through your cities, like Mississippi, like through Jackson, Mississippi. They just run through.
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
I'd like it.
me too.
So, Karina, if you were a ghost,
Fuck.
what place would you haunt?
Haunt. So can I interact with people, or I'm just like a quiet ghost in the background?
You decide.
You're saying,
You decide.
I don't know. Sky, can you answer first while I think?
I would hunt Karina.
Okay,
Wherever
then I'll
she
haunt
goes.
Sky.
Yeah, wherever she goes, I would go.
That's the thing I said to Jess. Jess was like, I'm going to haunt the White House so I can influence the president. And I was like, really? That's what you want to do? I would haunt you. I would want to just be with you all day. And I would just
The
come with
White
you
House.
to
Yeah.
work. Like, but yeah.
I got all the time in the world. When you're dead, like time means nothing. You can just spend all day just like
You're a vampire. You're a vampire suddenly.
vampire. I guess you're a vampire, yeah. Except you don't have to feed on the blood of the living. It's so
Aw.
cheesy. Oh, smooth move. Yeah.
Smooth moves.
It's a lovey-dovey stream. Okay, then. Yeah, this isn't Vegan After Dark. Who promised you mean? This isn't a mean show. This is a nice show.
This is Sunday school.
This is Vegan Sunday School. It's supposed to be nice time.
Okay, we
Nice time,
can't
not the
be
nighttime.
dark all the time. We need
No,
breaks.
it's always night, or we wouldn't need the light. All right, what's next?
Okay, what vegan product do you think is overrated? And I'm gonna start first, and I'm gonna say Oreos.
Oreos.
I don't like them.
I
I
don't like
don't
Oreos
understand.
either.
I don't get the fuss. What's
I
happening
never
with
liked
Oreo?
them either. Even before like veganism and everything, I never liked Oreos.
Yeah,
No, me neither. So,
no.
what are yours? What are
What about
yours?
you, Karina?
Overrated vegan product.
You have one. I know right away which one you don't. You're always bitching about.
Which one? It's me bitch a lot though. That's why I'm thinking which one.
Which one?
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of them. How about because you never, you're always like, I don't want to eat so many soy curls.
Oh, because you're like overload, because I don't know, you're just like overload of toppings and stuff. Like your proportions are off.
The proportions are off.
Yeah, your proportions are off. Like we'll have like this much pasta and you'll put this much soy curls and it's off.
No, I do
Yes,
not. I
yeah.
put this much pasta, this much soy curls.
Yes.
No, that's not true. You're just very sensitive. I like soy curls a lot.
We
Yeah.
have a big argument about soy curls. Who
Like
thinks there
one
should always
time, maybe
be?
she got too many soy curls. She's like, now forever, if I make dinner all the time, she's like, well, I wouldn't know not as many soy curls.
Because you put so much.
You many soy curls. So
Portions
you don't
are
think
off.
soy curls are over labeled?
Well, let's say one thing. Sky and Karina probably don't have different versions of what proportions are just because of your difference in sizes.
Right.
You guys.
That's true. Plus, I don't generally eat throughout the day, really, and Karina does. She'll have like lunch, she'll have breakfast, and like.
It annoys me so much. I don't know. This guy has one big meal, and I'm like, no, you should have like multiple nice meals.
Yeah, I have
Like
at
you're a growing
least
man. Like,
yeah, for me it's 3 or 4 meals a day. I
yes,
can't I
yes.
can't. Yeah.
Not me. I had a shake for breakfast, I guess, just to get like a little bit of something, and then I had some nuts while I was driving, and then I had I did go to a coffee shop where they had a vegan lemon cake thing, so I had that. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm
So
freaking
you did it more than once. Why are
It's
you
Sunday.
criticizing people who eat more? And why should we only eat once a day?
No, I'm not
Since
criticizing.
when?
I'm just saying that like
Okay.
when I get to the end of the day, I want a big hearty meal. That's all. Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Okay.
So a lot of soy curls. Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
know when you come to my house now what I'm supposed to make soy curls.
Totally. No more almonds.
Not for me
Almonds
though.
are
Not for me
overrated.
though, Kenny.
No more almonds for vegan. So, what do you think? Which do you think is overrated? Would soy curls be your answer?
Okay, yeah, I'm going with soy curls.
And you went with Oreos. I think like the vegan uh goodies, like the ones that are like the vegan
This guy doesn't like the hip peas.
the hippies, like the vegan
The peas are
chips,
mushy.
or the
Sorry,
ones that
sorry. The what? What did you say?
hip peas.
Hip
They're
peas.
like
You've seen them, Fanny. Like they're like
The-
almost. They look like little cheese puffs almost.
yeah, they're like cheese puffs.
I don't remember.
I don't really like any of the pieces of the things that are vegan answers to like snacks. Like I don't
Mm.
the chips or even the candies, like the chocolate. Oh, we made chocolate peanut butter cups and they're fine, but it's not like they're not like the ones I remember as a kid. So what would be the point? Like they're fine. They're
They're
fine.
good. I think they're good.
Yeah,
But I'm
but
a
people
chocolate
mouth
fan. I
gas them
love
over it.
chocolate.
Yeah, you do like chocolate. Yeah. Get rid of avocados also. No more avocados for anybody. Just Morgan
No,
said so.
I'd
Now we
be
have
no.
guacamole.
sad.
Yeah.
Without, I seen people say almond milk. I'd be sad. No
Mm.
almond milk, no
Yeah, I'd be sad
avocado.
too.
It's like,
Eat
yeah.
up. Just to please Pierce Morgan, I'm gonna drink twice as much almond milk just to piss off Pierce Morgan.
For me, it's like when I see people like, there is something. It's like when people talk about Donald Trump, right? They
Mm.
give him more attention. I don't ever want to talk about Pierce Morgan because I don't want to give him any of my attention. I don't want to make him more famous. I don't want people to
Mm.
hear about this person. I want to do as if they don't exist because I don't want to give them more attention than they deserve, and they deserve 0.
Hmm.
So
He
sorry.
doesn't deserve much, but at the end of the day,
I agree.
he is a piece of shit who's an anti-vegan. I wanna make fun of him a lot. So I'm gonna start making more content about him because I don't like him. No,
Okay, okay, we don't have the same tactic, but that's
yes,
okay.
I want to.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, go for it.
if your life were was a movie genre, which genre would it be?
Rom-com, rom-com.
Yeah, me too.
Rom com. That would be your
Yes.
one. Mine would be a coming of age film.
Ooh, I
Coming
know
of
what you're talking
age?
about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why
Yes.
would you be coming of age? What in your life? You were an eternal.
I'm an eternal coming of age film. I'm always growing and getting better and getting and learning new things and going, wow, that was. I also like coming of age films. Always have those scenes where people are like looking at the sunrise.
Okay, okay. If we were in a
The wind
horror
goes.
movie, who do you guys think would like probably
in,
die
in
first?
Who would die first in a horror movie?
Yeah, between us three.
Probably me,
I
because
think
I'd be
it'd
like,
be me.
yeah, because me, I'd be like, I'm gonna go call the cops, and like first thing, no, I'm not walking where it's dark. I'm not. I'm just gonna go call the cops. And
There you go. Dead. Karina, why do you think it'd be you?
Typically the person of like color is the first one out.
Oh, is that why? Because the trope? That's not true. Look at the last Scream movies. It's always the Mexicans that make it.
Was it? Was there a
Yeah.
Mexican? Who was the Mexican? There was no
Jenna
Mexican.
Ortega and her sister are both Hispanic.
They didn't speak Spanish at all in the film, though.
Doesn't mean that they speak Spanish. You don't have to speak Spanish to be a person of color.
I
You
guess
said,
you're right. I guess the trope's over. But I'm also like, I don't know.
wait a second. Chris
I don't
Rock was
know
in.
directions that well.
Does Chris Rock die at the end of? He
Saw?
doesn't die at the end of Saw. Yeah.
I think he. Well, I don't want to like ruin spoilers. We're spoiler alert. We're not spoiling.
Oh, spoiler alert! A movie that came out 5 years ago. All right. So I don't know. I don't think you die because you're a person of color. I'm still gonna say Fanny.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Fanny would be the
I
first.
would be in the movie Scream. I would be the girl at the very beginning that has the
That
phone
makes it
call and makes the phone
And he
call.
goes,
And,
"What's
and
your
you're like,
favorite
"Yeah?"
scary movie?"
You
And Fanny's like, I don't like scary movies,
know?
so
Okay,
I'm
bye.
like, I
I'd
don't
be
watch scary
that.
movies.
Yeah, I'd be that.
Ask me what my
Okay,
favorite rom com is. I don't know what's favorite rom com.
and Sky would be the killer.
Yeah,
Sky
Yeah,
would
Sky would
maybe.
be the killer. Yeah.
No, no, I wouldn't be a killer.
No, Sky would be the guy who'd be like, I know who the killer is. And everybody
Yeah.
would be like, fuck you,
Yeah,
Sky.
and then I would die in
We
the
like
end.
that guy. And in the end, you'd be like, you see,
You
I
see,
told
the
you.
knife in my
Yeah.
head.
But
Yeah,
Sky
I
would still
told
die,
you.
though. I think Sky would still die. Yeah.
Yeah, I could die before the end. Yeah, but I'd probably die. I'd die probably trying to get you free. I'd be like, "Run, Karina, run!" And then I would die, and
You're
you'd
like,
be like,
what?
"Ah!" And then you would die because you don't listen to me. Everyone dies when they don't listen to me. Yeah, I'd be like,
Oh my gosh.
Could be like, I
Okay,
scream yes.
last but not least, question of the day. You invent a new holiday. What is it? What does it celebrate?
mm.
Hmm.
You're supposed to be random. You're supposed to go fast. Remember?
I know.
Okay, I'm going to go with mine.
Okay.
It would be Unicorn Day, and all day people should eat nice ice cream, wear sparkles, wear clothes that look like a rainbow, and you could be like it's like Halloween but reverse. It's
Oh,
like
it's like Rainbow
Oh,
nothing.
Bright.
so
Yeah,
cutie.
Yeah, it's like cute day. It's like Care Bear Day.
got it.
Oh, I like that.
I
I
like
also want a holiday where you dress up as like a costume because I don't like that we do that like once a year with Halloween. Maybe like a movie day, like you dress up as your favorite movie character.
Nice, nice, and you eat popcorn all day.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you dress up your favorite movie character, but it's movie day. It's
It's
like
movie
the
day.
birth of
And you
cinema.
do you watch movies though on that day?
You can if you want to.
Well, maybe you make
Okay.
a movie on that day. Everyone makes their own movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
My
Vegan,
day.
vegan power lab needs hugs and is
Oh my
As an
activist.
activist day.
god.
Thank you, Mike.
Unicorns. There you go. The unicorn king. Yeah, it's a unicorn struct. I would
And yes, Sky.
I would total liberation. It's Liberation Day and everyone dresses like their favorite animal and
Oh,
runs
I like
around in
that.
the street free.
Yeah, I like it.
Right,
And
right,
then
free!
all the
Oh,
cages are
Free!
open. It would be a mess though. If all the cages were open, even for a day, it would be
All
a
the cages
mess.
are
be a lot
empty.
of poop everywhere.
Yeah, there would be poop
That's
everywhere.
great.
Animals
I
would
could do
just
it.
go all over the place.
That's perfect. Well, that's the other thing. Everyone has to poop outside because it's Liberation Day. Everyone has to.
Everybody.
All the humans have to poop outside. It's all poop all the time. But we even and if anybody has, it's Liberation Day, and if anybody has any animals in cages, we go and we open the cage.
Yeah.
Everybody. So like we just break cages that day. And we have a big like a bonfire in the middle of every town where we just burn the cages. Like even if they're fake
Oh,
cages, we just burn them for tradition, you know?
I love it.
I like it.
I love it. It's like
Wear your own
in
skin day. I like that.
it's in Europe we have the carnival and we burn someone.
I know.
Every time there is carnival, we burn the winter guy. The
Well, the
win-
winter guy's probably Judas. That's usually who they burn. Like because usually
Sometimes
Like
we
it's an
burn
actual person?
no, he's like a
no,
effigy. He's like a guy stuck with
it's like
clay.
a doll.
Okay.
It's like a
Yeah.
doll and it's full of straws.
Mhm.
And you burn it and it's yeah.
Yeah, there's some in Mexico they have it where they do it with fireworks though because it's Mexico and they on Easter they do it. Or maybe
Mm.
it's Good Friday, I forget. But they stuff him full of like explosives, and he blows up and he burns. It's yeah,
Mexicans don't do things
no, they
halfway.
don't want to do it halfway. No.
I love it. And he burns and he explodes. And
Yeah,
there's a
he explodes.
firework.
Making for
Yeah,
a good time.
I love it. Yeah, you do. I
yeah.
love it.
I have been to European festivals where they burn an effigy, and it's usually like
Mm-hmm.
no one really knows it's the Winter Man or it's
Mm-hmm.
the Dark Man or it's the Judas or it's something. It's some kind of symbol of like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
negative Christianity kind of thing, you know? Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Karina, for playing Random Stupid Question Interview.
Yay.
Thank you, Karina. Thank you so
Woo!
much for being here. I'm
Thank
glad
you
you had
guys.
a good time.
Thank you. Are you staying for Fanny who's smarter than
I
Fanny?
thought you guys were gonna do Smarter Than Fanny. Yeah.
You want to do Smarter Than Fanny?
I want to try it, yes.
All right, here we go. Smarter Than Fanny. Let's going to be switching gears to an entirely different mode.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, here we go. This is This is Are You Smarter Than Fanny? All right, so Karina is the youngest looking 75-year-old I've ever seen.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
she is. All right, so if anybody doesn't know, Are You Smarter Than Fanny is the game where we invite people on to see if they're smarter than Fanny for an unwinnable game to see if what you know about a certain animal topic. And we don't know the theme. The theme is secret. But here we go. Are we ready? You have to
Yes.
get five. So there are 5 questions. You have to get 3 right to win.
Okay.
To be smarter than me, and if you get 4, you get a T-shirt.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that. Yeah. Lots of rules. Okay. So this is the very first question, and it'll reveal what the quiz's theme is. What is, and Karina, you answer first, okay? What is bird flu called? What's the real name of bird flu?
Is it in French that you said she has to go first?
No, just the real word.
The
Like
real
it's
word
not really
for
a word.
flu?
It's like
Like the
the
actual
real.
terminology?
Yeah, because so like
Or-
coronavirus disease 19, they called it COVID-19, right? Or like
Try
so
not to look at the comments.
bird flu,
The comments are tricky. They're not
avian
telling you.
flu. Oh, not everyone's right in the comments though. Not avian flu. The avian flu is
I
just another
don't
word for bird flu.
know.
Okay, what about you, Fanny?
Well,
Influenza.
in French, we call it la grippe aviaire, which is the
Grippe
flu of the
aviaire.
birds. So yeah, I don't know.
Vegan Power Lab got its H5N1.
Yay! Vegan Power Lab!
H5N1.
Woo woo
Yeah.
woo!
And so now since you don't know that one, the second question was very difficult, but let's see if you know.
Okay.
It's okay if you don't. Vogelgrippe, yeah, the bird flu.
Vogelgrippe.
Vogelgrippe, yeah. The grip. You know, it's funny in English, people call it the grip, and you
Ah.
hardly ever hear it. But it's like sometimes you'll hear like in old movies or old people will say, "I've got a little bit of the grip," and
Yeah.
Mm.
it's the flu. But no one really says it these days.
I
All right,
do.
yeah, you do. The grippe. All right. What does the H and the N stand for? Do either of you know?
The H5N1.
H5N1 is the name. What does the
Um,
H and the N stand for? Yeah, H1N1 is swine flu.
H,
Yeah.
H1.
H is hemo something.
You're really
Hemo
it's hema.
hema something, and then N nasa something. No.
Nitrogen. No, no.
No.
Okay, so the H stands for hemagglutinin, so not so far away.
Hemaglutinin.
Hemagglutinin. Neuromanidase is the N.
How are we supposed to get this?
How are we
Well,
supposed to
I thought
know
that
It has
these
to
maybe
be
answers?
you guys might like get a little bit close or something. I'm sorry.
I
Okay,
think it's
so
kind of close.
but
We
the
have a
question,
bonus question. We need
the
a bonus
interesting,
Yeah,
question.
bonus question.
the interesting part is, that it was the reason why we do that is because those were like the first things that we discovered about viruses. And
Mm.
so we knew that these two proteins on the surface of the virus that allow it to go into and exit host cells. That's the stuff on the surface that gets in and out. And so because that's all we knew forever about viruses, that's how we determine which viruses are which. So there are 16 different hemaglutins. So in some world we might have H16, and there's 9 different neuraminidases that have been identified so far. So you could have H16N9, and
Karina, it is called Sunday school after all.
yes.
That's why we're learning from Teacher Scott
I know.
today.
Sky should be a professor, honestly.
No teaching about Jesus here. Teaching about deadly animal diseases.
I didn't know
Well,
biology.
okay, so all right, those are the hard ones, I guess. So here's a little bit easier, okay?
Okay.
How many people have died of bird flu? So we've known about bird flu since 1996.
on a happier note.
How many human beings have died of bird flu in the last 20 years?
In the
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, it's ever, since we've been counting. We discovered it in 96 and no humans ever had it. We knew it was killing birds. And then by the time it started killing humans, it has been about 20 years that since H5N1 has been killing humans. How many have been killed?
Hold on, because I think I know
At least one.
At least one, says Doric.
7. I would say 300,000.
300,000. Okay. What about you, Karina? What do you think? Shot in
I'm
the
gonna
dark.
go up. I'm gonna go 1 million.
1 million have died of fucking bird flu. Shit. That not a million have died of. I think only a million have died of like COVID. I remember when we passed the
That we
million mark.
know of 1 million
All right.
of bird flu.
That we know of.
Okay, worldwide, nowhere near that. So, firstly, only 900 people have ever gotten it. Okay, but the scary number. So, only 900 people have ever gotten it. Okay, but the scary number is out of 900, 460 of those people have died.
Uh-huh. So if we get it, we're more likely to quick.
It could be very bad for you if you get it. Yeah. So most people do not die of it today, but back before we knew how to handle it, we've been studying it for 20 years. We're pretty good at handling it now, but people wouldn't even know what they got, how they got it. They wouldn't know shit. So 460 people died.
How many people die a year of just the regular flu?
Thousands, yeah,
More,
thousands,
yeah.
thousands.
That's why I was like, if this is it must be a bit less, but I didn't think.
Well,
Yeah.
the scary thing about the regular flu is that it might get you, right? The scary thing about the bird flu is that it might kill all the damn birds, like
Mm-hmm.
all of them. Do you see what
Might.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it could kill all the birds.
Okay.
Okay, so at least one was pretty close. One you would have, if we were playing prices right, you would have won. Cassie, Kathy guessed 430. Okay, cool. Um, how many how many states in the United States, since you're both Americans, how many states have reported wild bird populations with the virus?
I'd say 10.
10?
I'm gonna say 5.
You're both wrong. It's all 50.
Dang it.
All 50. This is why bird flu is very scary. All
Oh
50
no.
all 50 states have including Alaska and Hawaii have have reported wild bird populations with bird flu.
That's scary.
Terry wins, I guess. Terry's smarter than us.
Okay.
Yeah. And those are wild bird
People in the
populations.
comments.
Michael gave up.
Michael excuse like, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
How many countries worldwide? Do you have that number, Sky?
Well, there's only like 200 something countries, but they have found I want to change my answer. Um they found bird flu in most places now. They found them in the Antarctic where sea lions have been found with the bird flu. They found them in all over the world. So I mean to say that in the desert they found it, in the Arctic regions they found it. They found bird flu globally. That's what's kind of scary about it because that means it can mutate, 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 and birds give it to each other quite frequently. It's very hard for it to go from human to human for now. But what's scary is that it has been found in various mammals, and since it's been in mammals, that means since we're mammals, it can come to us. Yeah.
Do we call it a pandemic when it's only affecting a species of animals? So we say the bird flu pandemic.
Yeah, I think they call it an epidemic, but I'm not really because I keep on finding things calling it the epidemic for birds, but I don't know what the difference is really because
Because
epidemic and
pandemic is
pandemic.
international, epidemic is one place. So if you say that it's everywhere, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean pandemic is everywhere. Pandemic means the whole globe, so maybe that's like why pandemic means that. But an epidemic could be in a region, yeah, but I don't know.
Okay.
Because I mean, we have a pandemic. You could call syphilis a pandemic, but we don't normally call it that. We call it an epidemic or a health crisis.
Mm-hmm.
A bird-demic. Yeah. All
Pandemic.
right, but to get off birds for a second, so
Bonus question. Bonus
there have
question.
only been two
Bonus question.
there have only been two cases in the United States ever.
Okay.
Only two cases in the United States. One was a prison worker who was working with chickens, and because they rent out their slave labor to chicken farms, and he contracted it there. I think on an egg farm actually, because egg farms are where they really get going because they don't the birds they're not killing them very quickly, and they're confined into very tight spaces, and they're covered in each other's shit. So so one was a prison, which is scary. One pandemic. One caught it some other way. How from what animal do you think the other case, which happened this year, got the bird flu?
If someone, it wasn't from a bird.
It wasn't from a bird. That's the whole thing. Yeah, it wasn't
It
from a bird.
wasn't from a bird.
They got the bird flu. It wasn't from a bird. That's
How'd they get it?
how they
And
get
it
it.
was here in America.
It was here in America. I don't want to tell you what state because I think it'd give it away, but they got this. They got the pandemic from an animal that was not bird. That's the scary part.
Then maybe someone at a zoo. Maybe someone at a zoo.
Zoo's a good guess, but wrong. What do you think, Karina?
It's not a bird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like a pig or a cow or
It was a cow. Yeah, it was a
okay.
cow. Yeah, the cow. A cow gave it to a human. The human felt fatigued, like flu-like symptoms, like always, and they tested him because they knew that he might have bird flu. So they tested him for bird flu. They found out early and they cured him quite quickly, and he's all right. But because in Texas we have so many birds with bird flu, we killed 2 million birds at the Cal-Maine egg farm very recently. 2 million just last week because of bird flu. And cows now have bird flu, and it's becoming a bigger problem in cows. But because human beings are working so much with cows, that's where we'll probably get it, right?
Yeah.
And a stupid question maybe, but if they would kill the birds and they would still eat the birds, would they get the flu? Is it still alive when the animal's cooked? And
No, but it's in their shit. And so since when they
Mhm.
kill animals, it's in their shit that you're probably still gonna get it. And
so
so
they had to burn
they
the
burn them,
whole,
they bury them. Yeah, they get rid of them. Yeah. They usually bury them.
but they
Yeah.
have to bear, because if I'm correct, in warehouses where they put all the birds, it's covered, the floor is covered in poop. So how do they protect themselves, the workers who
Well, they wear
collect?
hazmat suits, and when they go in, they scrub their feet, and when they come out, they scrub their feet. But that's exactly the problem. And also, what happens is birds fly, other birds, not chickens. And when they come onto your farm, it's really easy. So if somebody and they killed them
Mhm.
via ventilation shutdown, so they suffocated them with heat. It's very hot in there, so when they shut down all the oxygen, and then they all suffocate quite horribly in these massive industry. 2 million. Imagine 2 million dying, right?
No, I can't
Um,
imagine. I can't imagine what it is. Like honestly, like Los Angeles population is 12 million people. So I cannot imagine what
two
2 million
million chickens.
people. It's like a sixth of the population of LA just dying in one day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
insanity to
and to
think
put that
about
into
that.
perspective, the last question is: how many egg-laying hens are alive in America today?
We have had this question before, I think. I don't remember. In America today, I would say 100 million.
Okay, what do you think, Karina?
Um, I'm gonna go 95 million.
95 million. It's a strange it's a strange number to me because it's about 330 million chickens. 330 million is so friggin' crazy to me because I think that's how many people live in America. Something like that.
Three isn't America 160 million?
How
No.
many people live in America? 333 million in
Oh, okay.
2022. Yeah.
That's crazy.
333.
And
That's insanity.
yes,
So there are almost as many people as there are
they're
birds.
almost identical numbers. So in 2022, they said about 370 million, 350 million, 330. So the numbers are like a little bit, but they're always around like 330, 350, 370. And so to say that America, for every American, there's an egg laying hen kept in captivity. For every single American, there is
And
an animal locked in a cage for
it's
every one of
just
us.
egg laying, or it's also the ones that are raised for meat.
These are just the egg layers that because the egg laying hens is where we're gonna likely get where we'll have outbreaks of bird flu. So I was only looking in reference to bird flu. That's where you'll get the most bird flu is in these closed areas where we're keeping them very tightly confined. And
Mm-hmm.
also they're shitting on each other. And also it's in the eggs and it's in the dairy. The cows have the milk has the virus and so do the eggs. The eggs have the virus. Now we pasteurize those viruses, but the problem is there's a lot of idiots in America that drink unpasteurized or eat unpasteurized eggs and dairy. That's very, very common. I mean, think about all these idiots that we know that are like, well, I have backyard chickens. Not a good idea in the case of bird flu. You can seriously die because you're eating backyard eggs because you haven't
Mm-hmm.
pasteurized them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll
And
tell
that's
that to my dad because he has chickens.
mm-hmm. He has chickens. There you go. And I'd get him tested shit before I ate anything for those damn chickens. I would never do it anyway. So, but goddamn, disgusting. Terry Regan says, yeah, it's so many eggs. Think about that. If each one's laying an egg every day, that's 370 million eggs, 350 million eggs. But to me, we know I'm always astonished. Like I'm traveling America and I'm always taken like a little bit, I'm humbled because I look around, I'm like, there's people everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, there's people. There's marks of us, or there's evidence of us having been there. And I think there's just as many chickens alive today in America laying eggs incarcerated in captivity. Fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Fucking crazy. Mm-hmm.
And that also explains why we have to kill so many billions in the little boy chicks, why we have to kill billions at a time, because we have to get to 370 million we're killing them all the time. So imagine that's constant. We always have to stay at 300 something million. It's out
Mm-hmm.
of this world. Um,
And these are just the birds in cages, right? This number.
egg layers, yeah.
Mhm.
Egg layers. So there is on top of that the one raised for meat that must be a similar number. And then you have also the birds that are just in nature, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the birds in nature, the ones that are like, but these are chickens, right? But the birds in
Mm-hmm.
nature, we're talking those are much smaller population, tiny populations, and that's really
Mm-hmm.
kind of what's scary. If you have hummingbirds get bird flu, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They're all gone. If you get like some of these herons and some of these big animals that are actually threatened, they're all gone overnight because of bird flu, because of us keeping chickens. Someone asked me how many each chicken lays about 300 a year, and that's about 92 billion table eggs. In 2022, America laid 92.6 billion table eggs. Yeah,
It's
that's disgusting.
one day we'll have to explain that to future generations. I don't know what we're gonna say.
Yeah, when they ask you what did you do during the animal holocaust, what will you say? Well, Karina, thank you for that bright and shiny. I'm glad you spoke to the.
I mean, you
And
really sound.
I think you got it right for the cows, and I didn't get any answer right. So you're smarter than Fanny. Woo,
Smarter than Fanny.
woo, woo.
Yay! All right, Karina, thank you so much for playing for Are You Smarter Than Fanny? Once the theme song is over, you will no longer be in the room with us.
Okay. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Karina. Someone is smarter than Fanny. Fanny. Fanny.
I mean, what a surprise! Karina is smarter than me. I
You knew the
mean,
cow question.
she knew the cow question. I mean,
She got it. She got it. Well,
good
now
job,
we
Karina.
I was so moved by the stuff about the bird flu because I feel like a lot of vegans we don't know that much about the bird flu, and
Mhm.
um and I think it's something that we need to know about. It's kind of scary.
I
Yeah.
mean, I get it because part of us is like, well, this does not apply to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes I see videos about topic and I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about this because I don't need this shit.
Yeah.
So I understand why a lot of us are like, yeah, I don't care. But of course, it affects us all. It affects humanity, and
That's kind of how I felt in the beginning of Corona. I was like,
Mhm.
nah, we always get. I remember Ebola, and I remember Zika, and I remember SARS and MERS, and all of these viruses. That's an Asian problem. That's an African problem. That's a European problem. Not us. We don't get that problem in America.
That's a carnist problem.
That's a
Yeah.
carnist problem. Yeah, exactly. But wait till it's our problem, man. Holy shit, that's a scary one to me. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the world is scary today, between the wars and the nuclear stuff and the pollution and climate change and everything. The world's just a scary place to live. You have to be brave. Every time I go out with Faye and she's scared, I'm like, I'm sorry. The
Be
world
brave.
is the
You don't
world
say
is
be brave,
scary.
Faye. You don't say be brave.
I'm like, I say you are so brave because you're
Oh,
doing it.
you're so
So,
brave, Fanny.
you're so brave.
You're so brave, Fanny. You're so brave.
Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah,
world is
BSE was a
scary.
British problem. Yeah, BSE was a British problem, but it obviously wasn't. Like we had it foot and mouth. Well, we have foot and mouth in America for sure. We kill a lot of animals for foot and mouth disease. Um, yeah, I thought there were way more chickens, cattle, and pig than there were humans. There are. Those were just egg laying hens, just
Egg
to
laying
bring that up. And also, don't forget how many chickens we kill on their second day of birth, second day of life. We kill them. Um, yeah, there are way more animals than humans, for
But you
sure.
know what? There are people like us today. I can see personally 36 people watching this chat as we speak right now. So
Yes. Did
there
we get
are
36 likes? Do you think they gave us 36 likes? I don't
maybe,
know.
oh, maybe it's time to put the banners so people know what to do.
People know what
Uh,
to
but,
do.
but yeah, it's it's easy to look at everything that goes wrong and everything that people do badly. And as vegans, it's I guess we care so much.
Hmm.
If not us, who,
If
right?
not us, who? Yeah, if not now,
So
when?
if not now, when? So we care so much, and it's very important, and it's great. But we have to remember also that there are people like us, that a lot of people care too,
Hmm.
and that we're not alone. That's why we create this community, and it's important to remember that, because otherwise it's too difficult. Nobody can't go on like this.
No, exactly, and it's scary to me that we're expected to. Like, if I can't be expected to be the only one, who was saying like that? Trillions of animals, and it's all. Oh, I think James Ashby was saying. James was saying like, uh, oh yeah, this whole trillions of animals thing. This is on your shoulders, vegans. You're the ones that need to worry about it. It's like, wait a second. I thought all of us were going to try to get in this together. No, no, we're not.
No,
Hmm.
no. I think between the people who feel overwhelmed about the situation, between the people who don't care, between the people who do care but don't have the maybe knowledge or skills or
Hmm.
whatever to know what to do, it's like, yeah, everybody has their own place, and it's it's kind of like a big game where you're like, what is my place? What is the place I want to take? Do I want to stay in the place that I am right now? Do I want to change
Hmm.
what I'm doing? I would say that life is kind of the only game where you can choose constantly what you're gonna play. You know what I mean? Oftentimes you're stuck. If you play a game, if you play sports, you're
Hmm.
in this one position and you have
Yeah,
to stay there.
that's
But
it.
when you're in life, you can choose constantly what is your position, what step you want to take, how you want to play this game or this situation, what tool you want to be. And it can change. It doesn't have to be, oh, it's like this and this is just how it is. You can choose constantly what you want to do. If you wanted to choose tomorrow to not be vegan anymore, you could do that. It's like nobody is going to prevent you. So you have to constantly every day choose
You have to
what.
remain vigilant. Yes, always,
Mhm.
always re-up. Absolutely. Which is why, that's the idea of this channel, right? This is the service that we're
Yeah.
hoping to provide to people who can stand up and be like, yeah, I want to re-up. I want to get that hit because it's so difficult. I mean, it's funny. I'm in Mississippi, and it's a very Bible-y state, and I was driving around a lot of churches, and the churches are full, and it's like, isn't that what that is? They want to go in, re-up. They want to go in and see, hey, I'm going to make this choice over again and make sure that I'm good with this. And I think that that's how we build culture. And I hope that
Mm-hmm.
together, vegans together strong. Absolutely. Yeah.
Honestly, Sky, if I want to be a bit like give you, how do you say that? Shout out to Sky for your channel,
Shout out.
because honestly you're doing such a great job at trying to make content for vegans that is interesting, that brings them this energy of like, okay, how do I show up as a vegan? How do I have a community?
Yeah.
How do I keep on going? Because I think that's the biggest challenge for vegans today, is to keep on going when we see that we wish that things were already different, and we keep
And we feel
fighting every day.
isolated. Yeah.
And it's hard because it doesn't change as fast as we wanted. I became vegan 9 years ago. I was hoping that by 9 years things will be widely different, and they're
Yeah.
mildly different. So yeah.
We're making some strides. Did you hear the channel got to a million views? That's a pretty big deal,
Ooh,
right? A
that is a
million.
huge deal.
Yeah. I was like,
That is, wow. Congratulations. Did you
thank
celebrate
you.
already?
I,
Hold
I
on, hold
just
on.
need to post.
No, no, go, go, go. We're going to do a thank you for everybody. A
Thank you to
thank
everyone
you
who's
for the
watching.
1 million. Thank you for 1 million views for Sky.
1 million views for vegan, of
Woo!
course. Thank you, everybody. Bunk, 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 bunk. Thanks for being
Thank
vegan.
you. Thank you for
Yeah.
being vegan, and thank you for being here. And thank you for having me, Sky.
Thank you for being here. I was so stoked about that because I kept on hearing people talk about how many views their channels had. I was like, man, I wonder how many my views had in lifetime. And so a million, it was like it just ticked over. So I was like, such a
It's
huge deal.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And you can always go down and up with subscribers, because
Yeah.
people subscribe, don't subscribe, but
Hmm.
your
Bots
views
and all that. The
your
views
your,
you can't
your
take
views
away.
can only go higher.
Yeah, that's right. The
It's
views can only go up.
it's
Yeah.
like, subscribers, they go with the flow, but the views, they're just there. Once they're there, they're there.
Once you viewed it, you can't take it back. Yeah,
You
once those
can't.
eyeballs hit the screen, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When I was creating a lot of content for Fannulous, and I had all of these like artists coming and all, I was like, who cares? You're here. You're watching my videos. That's
Yeah.
all I'm trying for you to do,
Well, I
is
get a
to
lot of
come
that,
here.
Yeah, get a lot of carnies in the chat,
Yeah.
in the comments, but whatever. Who would
Yeah.
unsubscribe from Sky? I don't know. Crazy people, carnies. I don't know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, vegans of all ages, thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow. We're doing the wake up call tomorrow, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And dark, after dark.
After dark. That's
You're
on Monday
doing.
too.
Oh,
That's
that's
true.
Monday too. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's tomorrow. We'll do after dark. Yeah.
Thank you everybody for coming to Sunday school.
Bye, everybody.